In 2026, being on your phone is one of the worst things you can do as a content creator if you want to grow in social media. And the thing is, you actually, in my opinion, don't have to be on it as much as you think. You actually don't even need to have social media on your phone. And I do think, I have a theory, that the less time you spend on social media as a creator, the more you will grow for so many reasons. And so today, I'm going to be breaking down how I personally have, I think, mastered being off my phone and growing on social media in terms of everything, like creating content, doom scrolling less, getting content inspo, posting content, like all of it, engaging with comments without having social media on my phone. In January of 2026, one of my goals was to literally delete all my social media and not even have it on my phone whatsoever. And so I'm really excited because I have so many thoughts of how to do this if you also want to spend less time scrolling on your phone. So I'm so excited. Of course, as always, we're going to go through content ideas for the week, what's happening on social media. We have after hours voice notes. We have a lot to cover today. So without further ado, let's clock in. If you're new, by the way, welcome to Busy Blooming. This is your digital office of social media. Every single Friday, we are clocking in to wrap up our week together, covering everything that needs to come across your desk in the world of social media. Make sure to subscribe if you're watching for the first time. Comment down below, introduce yourself to the office, and we have a lot of work to do today. We're going to get off our phones and still grow on social media. So let's clock in and let's go to work together today. Okay, so much recently we've been talking about content crash outs and how to feel organized with content and just like get your life together. And every time I hear somebody talk about that, the first thing that comes to my mind is Rella, because Rella is something that I have used for years in so many ways. And I know so many of us here at the Busy Blooming office use it. So I need to tell you all about it, because if you are not in your Rella era, I'm going to tell you exactly how and why you need to do it. I feel like Rella is my one-stop shop for content and social media. I use it in so many ways. Like firstly, of course, their gorgeous content calendar, planning content, scheduling content, but also they have a notes section so I can organize all of our ideas for the week for Busy Blooming content in the notes too. I send brands my content through Rella, so their content calendar tools and content planning tools are amazing. But you guys, their AI, Ella, is, you've heard me say this a million times because I'm so obsessed with it. It is the most genius thing I've ever seen in the world of social media and the creator economy. I actually saw somebody in HQ say that they were spending like 4 hours in Ella redoing their entire brand strategy because Ella integrates your social media. So you can literally be like, hi Ella, can you pull me all my analytics for my Instagram last month and then tell me what you think I should post? It will like publish in your content calendar. So there's so many ways to use Ella to plan your brand goals, your content strategy, your analytics, like all of that. But recently, a new feature is their workflows, which is mind-blowing. You can basically now with Ella have a 24/7 social media team on your content, your business. There's so many different workflows that you can use, but my favorite is that Monday morning at 8 a.m., I get an email of all of our analytics from the last week. So at 8 a.m., when I do my little founder hour on a Monday, I get this gorgeous formatted report from Rella where I can see all of our analytics. You can also set up workflows to send reminder emails if you're waiting for approval on content. So go check out Rella. Everything is linked below. You can use code BusyBlooming for 10% off annual plans or 3 months for new users. Thank you so much to Rella for sponsoring today's video, and let's get into it. Okay, so there's a lot to cover in this whole topic because I feel like it really is that deep. Like it actually is. I know people are saying like, oh, don't scroll on social media or doom scrolling's bad for you. And we make jokes all the time on like Busy Blooming content of like, 40 hours a week screen time and it's your job, or I'm scrolling on social media for my job. But let me just say, like, us, like just one-on-one here, it is that deep. Like scrolling on social media and just being on your phone in general is so detrimental for you as a person, like content creation aside, which we know, we don't have to go into that, but also for your business and your brand. Like it really is that deep. I think it is more detrimental than we realize as people who create on social media. Like I think scrolling on social media is bad for everybody, but it's even worse for us as people who want to do this as your job, your business, grow, all of that. It's even worse. Like it is the worst for us to be on social media media a lot. And I think there's two levels to this that we might not even realize is happening. So on a person creator level, by scrolling on social media a lot and always being inundated on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Substack, LinkedIn, Pinterest, like there's a million social media platforms nowadays, podcasting, like by constantly consuming all this content, you and we start to lose ourselves in it. And I think the magic of social media and what's working right now in 2026, and like the best part of it is when you create a brand and I create a brand that is so unique to us, and it gets really hard to do that when you are constantly scrolling, because you know that analogy of when people are swimming in a pool, like there's an Olympic pool and you're in the Olympics, there's two people swimming. And if you're looking in the other lane of your swimming lane, the person looking in the other lane is going to go slower, and the person who's just not looking at the other lanes is going to go faster. That is the perfect analogy of what it's like to scroll on social media. You're constantly looking in other lanes. And we talked about this last week about social media advice specifically, but it's even deeper than just getting advice. Like if, say for example, you're watching a TikTok or a podcast, you are downloading information consciously, subconsciously of look at how they're filming, look at how they're editing, look what they're talking about, look at their personality. They're so open. Okay, I'm going to go to their page. Oh my gosh, they've been posting so much. They post every single day. They just worked with a brand. Oh, I like how their bio is. I like their profile picture. I like how their playlists are. I like how their series, the hashtags, the captions. Like you are downloading all the time. And imagine doing that for hours and hours and hours, downloading all of this information of people in the other lanes. Like you literally can't even look in your own lane or look forward because you're just looking around. It really truly, I think, unravels you from your purpose and your brand and your vision and your goals, and you start to almost spend 90% of your time looking around at everybody else. And so the 10% that you do spend finally actually creating content or thinking about your goals, you're so like saturated and overstimulated, and your brain is so full of everybody else that you do truly, I think, get ungrounded and like unraveled of you and your purpose and your goals in social media and your brand and what you want to do. Because even if you are thinking of like, okay, maybe I want to do this with my brand or I want to do this with my podcast, your subconscious is so full and packed and overflowing of everybody else, you almost start to picture like other people as well and start to almost take other people's goals and other people's directions, and you forget about yours without even trying. And I think it's really, really damaging to us as creators, again, without even realizing it. Like we're just trying to have fun. We're just trying to scroll on TikTok and Instagram like everybody else, but what everyone else isn't doing that we are is downloading all this information in an industry that we are all in. And so I think truly the less you are on social media, the more you will grow. I really do think that. I even noticed that in myself. And we're going to talk about my habits and routine and everything, because I feel like I have this down to quite a good science. But I even noticed in myself, when I delete my social media on Fridays, by Monday, I feel way more clear and like have so much more clarity and so much more excitement about what I'm doing and like my brand and my business and everything, and more confident as well. I think it really kills our confidence. And also something we talk about a lot is that the key to happiness is not getting what you want, but it's wanting what you have. And I feel like being on social media a lot as creators and entrepreneurs, it makes it really hard to want what you have. You are constantly seeing what you don't have. You're constantly seeing these followers and views and brand deals and whatever that you don't have that other people have. And it makes it really hard to kind of get your blinders on and be like, no, I do have this like amazing following, this amazing community, and I love my brand and I trust the timing. And you just, again, like you get so ungrounded. I'm so passionate about it. I feel like it's so hard on us. And also one thing, and then I'll get into like the habits and how to actually do this. But one other thing is I feel like there's this quote I saw on social media, TikTok, Pinterest, something the other day that was saying, you need to ask yourself, are you living your life or are you observing you living your life? Like, are you observing yourself living or are you living? And this is kind of a social media aside, but I do think social media and the nature of our habits of being on our phones all the time, it makes it really hard to live your life and not observe yourself all the time. Like, you're constantly just observing like what you're doing, trying to optimize everything, be as healthy as possible, cut out certain things, sleep as much as possible, all this like self-improvement content. Like, you're optimizing everything and you're always thinking like about other people's routines or whatever, and it's really, really hard to just live. And I feel like for creators as well, of course we want to be strategic, of course we want to grow and be strategic, not just post random stuff all the time. But as creators, I feel like it's really hard to keep your head down and just create and live and not observe yourself creating. I'm like, okay, why am I scrolling so much on social media? Or why am I not posting enough? Or you're seeing this person's gorgeous, beautiful calendar and you're thinking, why does my content calendar not look like that? And you're just constantly like observing your business and your content process and all of it. So anyways, long story short, social media, I think, is more detrimental to us than we can even realize. And so I'm going to break down now how I have this routine, habits that I do to truly, truly stay off my phone and not scroll. And again, it has been like transformative for my mental health, because mental health is everything over here at the office. Okay, so for me personally, I am on every platform: podcasting, YouTube, all the short form, busy blooming as our, like, as a digital entrepreneur as well. Like, I'm in a lot of different buckets on social. So what I do, which a lot of you already know this, but my weekly routine is everything to me. It is a routine I have had for years and years and years, is that I, even before I had gone full time, I still really try to stick to this, is that I treat social media truly as a Monday to Friday operation. I only post between Mondays and Fridays. I'm only on social media between Mondays and Fridays. I don't create, I don't brainstorm, I don't scroll, I do nothing on Saturday and Sunday. Those 2 days for me are clocked out of social media. And that doesn't mean you're not posting, because we can. But that is just what I do. You can probably see that infiltrated a little bit in the busy blooming schedule as well. Like this podcast goes out on Fridays. The HQ episodes go out on Mondays. Like, I personally, and in the business and scheduling and everything is within a Monday to Friday schedule. But here's the thing: if you have a 9-to-5 job, I know this is your nightmare because your weekends are probably your time. But let me just caveat that a little bit, because when I had a 9-to-5 job, I did social media alongside a 9-to-5 for maybe like 2 or 3 years. I found that my mental health just started crashing and crashing and crashing, because between a Monday and Friday, you're at work, and then outside of work, you're like doing all the other things. And so then if your entire weekend is spent on your business and social media, I think it can really, really cause burnout. I think I have a whole video on how to have a 9-to-5 job and grow on social media. I'm pretty sure I have that. I do. I'll link it up here in the cards or in the description too, because there are like so many things that you could do. But anyway, so Monday to Friday for me is my social media as a user and as a creator. I do not touch social media on the weekends. I think one of the most productive things we can do as creators is spend less time on social media, again, because boosts your creativity, it gives you a space to get grounded and love what you have and clear your mind. Like, it is one of the most productive things. So it might seem like, oh, but I should be posting every day, I should be like creating every day. It is more productive to take 2 days off, just in my opinion. So Monday to Fridays, I have a ritual, as you guys probably know, that every single Friday afternoon, I delete my social media. Delete TikTok, delete Instagram. And I know you're thinking, okay, but I have all my drafts, but we're going to talk about that. But I delete social media on Friday. So creating all of it, you guys get the point. Saturday, Sunday, no social media at all. And that's why I like having this podcast on Fridays too, because we're kind of like wrapping up the week together on the Friday afternoons. Okay. Anyways, let's talk about creating. So how do you create on social media if you don't have it? Okay. So here's the thing with me. It is more important to me to not have drafts on my phone than it is to have a bit of an easier creation process, because it is so important to me to not have social media on the weekends, deleting it on the weekends. It is more important to me. I know that creating drafts on TikTok, like TikTok's, if you don't have TikTok, this is going to make no sense. But if you do, you get it. Like, Creating on TikTok is so easy. It's probably the easiest place, in my opinion, to create content. Also, there's like trends and sounds, and there's like so many reasons, green screens, to create on TikTok. Same with Instagram as well. Like there's drafts, right? So when you delete your apps, you lose your drafts. Couple of things here. Firstly, I have been creating a little bit more on TikTok. When I have drafts and it's Friday and I'm like, okay, I'm going to delete my social media, I post my drafts to my TikTok story so they get downloaded on my phone, and then I delete it. It's embarrassing if people see your story for 2 seconds, but if you post your TikTok drafts on your story, they save to your phone and then you can delete your TikTok. But I honestly have really tried to get out of the habit of creating drafts and creating content through the apps. I'll pause here too. I know that there's a theory out there that like if you create through TikTok or if you create on Instagram, you're going to get boosted more on Instagram. No, I really don't believe in 99% of the stuff that's out there. That's not true. Your content will do well if people save it and share it. That's it. So it's fine. There's so many other ways to like get in the algorithm if you need to. So a content creation process that I do to not need my social media on my phone whatsoever is I will film my videos on my camera roll or in CapCut. CapCut and Edits, both of those apps have really, really nice, very similar to TikTok programs, am I 85? Like they have nice user interface where you can create a video, pause it as you go. So both CapCut and Edits you can create through there, or just film on your camera roll or film on a camera. I know a lot of people here in Busy Blooming, they have the DJI cameras. I have my Sony camera that I love. So you also can just use a third, like a camera as well if you want. And then when it comes to editing, I love CapCut. I know CapCut is getting canceled these days, but I still use it. I love CapCut, Edits, Final Cut Pro. Edit on one of those. Also, Canva. I used Canva yesterday. Side note, this is not sponsored. I know I work with them a lot. Canva has the best video editor. Like I was trying to do captions for our new After Hours podcast and I wanted to get some pop-ups. So I threw it in Canva. They do auto captions. And so you could make it like your own font and colors, which is really nice. But then because you're in Canva, you can like add these gorgeous graphics. So shout out to Canva. Their video editor is like very similar to CapCut. I love it. Anyway, so you film, edit, and then in terms of posting, this is the big thing with not having social media, because the way the algorithms work, which the algorithm, again, we don't want to go too deep into it, saves, shares, it's everything, but it is really important that Instagram, TikTok, whatever, they know what your content is about. One of the best ways to do this is to have captions in Instagram, in TikTok, because that is pulling you into the algorithm. It's also really nice to have text that you type out in the TikTok editor, so when you post, it categorizes your video. Here's the thing. The algorithms are different than they used to be. That used to be, even 2 years ago, I'm sure I was on this podcast 2 years ago saying like, you have to do that. I don't think that's the case anymore. And I have seen this firsthand because of this whole thing that I'm so passionate about. And so all you really need to do with your social media content is you need to categorize it some way. The best way really is the caption, which you don't need your apps to do. Like you don't have to create in your apps to get this. So what I will personally do if I really want content to go out on a weekend, I will actually use Rella. And I know this video is sponsored by Rella, but I'm genuinely, you guys, Rella is one of those sponsors that I really, really do use all the time. Like I love them. Whether this video was sponsored by Rella or not, I would be telling you about them because I'm obsessed with it. It is the only scheduler. I've tried all of the other ones. Rella is the only one that I have put my content into and it doesn't suppress the views. Like it just doesn't. I remember too, Natalie, the founder of Rella, I asked her, I'm like, okay, like be so for real. If you schedule your content through Rella, like how do the views not get suppressed? Like I don't get it because you need to do the captions. She's like, it doesn't. She's like, I have gone viral. And anyways, long story short, I do that as well. So creating, editing, you can publish through Rella. You also can schedule your content on Instagram, TikTok.com. I feel like a lot of people don't know this. You can schedule your content through the web version of TikTok. But if you're going to schedule your content, you need to be strategic because you need to have in the caption categorizing what your content's about. So make sure if you're going to schedule, you have a long sentence that's like searchable in some way, like a longer caption with keywords, what it's about, what people would search, throw in like 2 to 3 hashtags, whatever, bonus, who cares. But that whole process, you literally do not even need social media on your phone to film, edit, and post at all. Again, if you want content to go out on Fridays or Saturdays and Sundays, just schedule it. Scheduling content does not suppress your views. Even if you schedule it through Instagram, Adam Mosseri, the CEO of Instagram, he literally made a video being like, if you schedule content through Instagram, it does not suppress your views. So that is my personal routine. Throughout the week, Monday to Friday, I'm usually filming, editing, posting all through TikTok, Instagram, whatever. But sometimes if I'm in a good content rut where I'm like, oh my God, like I'm seriously crashing out. Like I feel so uninspired. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm spiraling. I get serious where I'm like, I'm going to wipe social media from my phone, even through the week. I'm going to take like a week or 2 off, do all my content through camera roll, editing, Rella, or scheduling, and just like have a bit of a break. And you can. Also, I saw Mia McGrath. I'm sure you guys know that creator. I love her. She posted on her stories, I think like on her public stories, that she took a couple weeks off on a vacation to just like relax, rest, whatever. She's like, I posted every single day and I have not been on my phone for like a week or 2 because she scheduled all of her content and it all did amazing. So that is my routine, like Mondays to Fridays, deleting social media on Fridays, scheduling, creating, all of it. Other things that I do is I had the brick for a while. I do have a code down below, but honestly, you guys, like the brick to me, and Maddie took my brick, so I don't even have it anymore, but the brick for me, like my social media addiction runs deep. Like it wasn't enough for me because I would just like not brick my phone. Like if it was unbricked and I was scrolling, like it's curtains for the night. I'm on my social all night. So what I've downloaded instead, which I've talked about before on the podcast, is Opal. I think we have a code. I can link it below if we do, but it's a little expensive. I think it's like $100 a month or something, or not a month. It's $100 like one cost. So that's a lot for an app, but I have limits on my apps where the maximum amount of time I can scroll is 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, you have to go back in, refresh, unlock, do the little thing to unlock your apps. It is the best thing. My screen time is down. I got Opal a few weeks ago. And actually, when I talked on the podcast, a lot of you said you had Opal as well. My screen time is down like 30%. Like this whole week, it's Friday right now. I have been on TikTok or Instagram 3 hours this week. The whole week. Like that for me is really good. So Opal is an app that I use. The personal limits that I have on it is that at 5 p.m. everything locks, and then I can only be on for 45 minutes a day before I get all the like reminders to unlock to get in. So I love that app a little bit more than the brick, honestly. And then when I delete my social media, I delete YouTube Studio, Instagram, TikTok, everything except for Pinterest. I will keep Pinterest and Substack. Those two I think do help me feel more inspired. And let's talk a little bit about inspo scrolling, because you know, it is really important to know like what's working, what's trending, what's going on social media, and engagement is important as well. So let's talk about those 2 points, because honestly, this is going to sound like, you know, but a big reason and a why for me of Busy Blooming is for this reason. I want to keep people on the pulse of what's working, happening, and trending on social media without being on your phone. Busy Blooming HQ, every single Friday today, we're going to do a huge content ideas report, 1 idea per day, a mix of trends and ideas. We have a content ideas vault that has, I think, almost 400 ideas in it. So for this reason, like, so you can be off your phone and get content ideas, get inspo, know the trends without scrolling. Like, that is something I'm so passionate about. So things like Busy Blooming HQ and Busy Blooming, this podcast in general, do help. But also, I think Pinterest is a great inspo scroll as well. Pinterest actually has given me so many content ideas for carousels, vlogs, like things to talk about. Same with Substack. Substack has a lot of good ideas of what people are writing about, what people are talking about. Like those two, I think, are sometimes even better inspo scrolling than like TikTok and Instagram. Because sure, you could scroll for an hour one day to be like, okay, these are the trends, or go on HQ, but that's not the substance of your brand anyways. Like the trend, you don't want to post so many trends anyways. 20% trends max, like trend Sundays is something I did for a while. But the heart of your content and what will make you grow and make your business grow is like not what's trending anyways, because you're looking at other lanes. Like you don't even want to do what everyone else is doing. And in terms of like engagement, right, like commenting back, DMs, all that, I just go on my computer. I love the Instagram desktop app or the Instagram Chrome, like on my browser. That's how I usually do all my comments, DMs, everything is on my computer. It feels so like I'm clocking in. I'm going into work. So that is personally how I stay off social media, why I think it's so bad, my personal routine, the Monday to Fridays, all of this has, you guys, like changed my life. It sounds dramatic. It has. It really has. Being off social media and scrolling on social media, I think, is the core cause of a lot of struggles we have as creators. All of it. Like when we are crashing out, or if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling down on yourself, you're not being consistent, you're not posting enough, your views are down, whatever it is, it's probably from scrolling too much. It probably is. Try it. Do it. See for a week. Do an experiment. Do you feel better? Do you feel happier? Do you like creating more if you're on social media less? Try it out. I'm so passionate about it. So anyways, that is my formula. Let me know yours, because I know a lot of you are aligned and do the same thing. So let me know your thoughts. But now let's get into the rest of the episode. Let's talk about updates, weekly wins, what's trending, what's working, like all of it. Let's get into it. Okay, first, let's get into the biggest headline of the week. So this came out actually yesterday, that Instagram dropped a feature where carousels have gotten an upgrade. So now you can do multiple captions on a Instagram carousel, which is, Instagram comes out with features I didn't even think I needed. So you basically go in, you go create a carousel, you tap the caption area, and then you could create multiple captions. So every single photo that you have could have a different caption, which, speaking of all this, of like getting in the algorithm, that will get you in the algorithm of over and over and over hammering down like the keywords and all of that. So anyways, that is like the biggest headline of the week, is that now you can have multiple captions on an Instagram carousel, which we love. Thank you so much, Adam Masseri, slaying the house down. We're going to get more of our keywords in the algorithm. And also it's kind of good for retention too, because you could be so funny. You could just have like a different story you're telling in each caption. Carousels are so great for telling stories. You could do like day in your life, week in your life, whatever, and you don't have to do all of it in the photo. You can do it like add to your story or like funny things in the caption. So love. Okay, let's get into weekly wins, and then we'll do content ideas and an after hour. So this is the time of the show. This is the time of the week, your Friday ritual, or I know a lot of you listen to these on like Mondays, weekends, whatever. Okay, it's the time for you to do your weekly win. Take a minute, take it in, take a breath, Michaela Nagiro. Okay, so what is something to celebrate this week? Think about it. You have to celebrate yourself. You are amazing. You're doing amazing. Even if you don't feel like it, you are. So think about your TikTok, your Instagram, your brand, podcast, realizations, habits. Like, what is something you did this week that you're like, yeah, like that's a win. That's a celebration. That's something worth celebrating. And comment it down below if you want to share at the office. I would love to hear. I have a couple weekly wins, and then while you're thinking, I'll share mine. So the biggest one is launching the After Hours podcast. That is going to come out on Wednesdays. So now the Busy Blooming podcast is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Monday HQ, Wednesdays After Hours, Fridays here on YouTube and Spotify. And this is the thing, is I have been feeling so much like there's so much to the office of social. Like, we need to talk about pop culture, internet drama. We need to talk about content crash outs. And there's only so much time on these episodes, Mondays and Fridays. So we launched on Wednesday a podcast. It's like a part of the Busy Blooming office, but it's on Wednesdays, a midweek content crash out with me and Maddie, who Maddie works for Busy Blooming. I'm obsessed with her, and we're like such good friends. And so go check it out, the After Hours podcast. I'm really excited. I will collab post it with Busy Blooming. So anyways, you can clock into that. Totally different tone, so unfiltered. We're going to talk about influencer events, brand deals, our weeks, like being a creator, what we're crashing out about, low views, and then of course all the social media news. Like we talked about Colleen Ballinger going on tour again. Like there's so much there. It's really fun. episode. So go check it out. So that will be on Wednesdays, which is a huge win for me. Another huge win is in Busy Blooming HQ, we launched I think I said this last week, but we recently launched a brand deal calculator, an email negotiation feature where you can we can help you negotiate your emails automatically. We have a feature where in the content ideas vault, you can make it your own. So you can actually have like your own section of HQ where you have all your ideas, all your notes. So those are some wins as well of like things that came out this week. A realization I've had this week with content, which I might lose you a little bit because this is going to sound like I'm in psychosis, which I probably am. But I've had this realization recently with content and business in general, which I've been feeling a little bit scattered. And this happened to me last summer. I remember last summer I was visiting my friend and my friend lives in Amsterdam, and I was kind of like walking around. I was walking around Amsterdam. It was pouring rain. She was at work. And I remember just thinking, like, what am I doing with my life? Like, what are we doing? Like, what is going on? Should I just, like, stop all this, like, social media stuff? And, like, I was seriously having an existential crisis, which I think is normal to have in your 20s. Like, I was 28 last year. Now I'm 29. And anyways, I haven't been feeling that way as much. But recently, I think it's just the season of like summer. And I don't know if you guys have been feeling this way too, but it's sometimes just hard to feel not motivated, but grounded, I guess, with your business and your goals and your vision and like everything, consistency, because it's the summer. It's gorgeous. We love the summer. It's summer hours. It's summer Fridays. Like, the summer is really the best time of the year. And so I feel like it's tough sometimes to feel grounded in like what you're doing because of like it's fun and it's the World Cup and it's nice out and whatever. So anyways, I have lately been feeling like I don't have the clearest vision. Like, I feel like we're trying to let the concrete dry and we're trying to go day to day. And so anyways, all this being said, all that unneeded context is a realization I had this week, which is kind of a win, is sometimes, you know, the let them theory, me and my damn let them hoodie that I wear every single week. Okay. You know, the let them theory, like just let them. Sometimes you have to let the universe or God, whatever you believe in, let them, you know? Like, what if you just let them do your vision and hold the direction and the goals for a minute and you just stay in the day-to-day? And I feel like a lot of what we talk about here at Busy Blooming is like you're kind of doing a work back plan of your 20-year from now, like what you want to do, what your goals are, your vision, like what you want to be known for, all this. And that is what we're really always thinking of. But what if for a season of time, you just don't have to hold that and you can just stay in the day-to-day and go through the motions and just keep posting and just keep going and let the concrete dry and all this stuff and just let them handle the vision, the big goals, because maybe it's bigger than we can even see or imagine, and it's better and different than something we can even think of or put on a vision board. And so maybe you just got to let them cook and we just go through the day-to-day, and you don't need to have a super clear vision. You just generally do for the summer, take things day by day. And that has been on my mind a lot recently. It's just been something I've been thinking about, that what if you just let them and then we just stay a little more granular for a minute, and that's okay, and feel comfortable in that. So that has been, I don't know if that's a weekly win, but some sort of realization I've had recently of like, or this week of, I'm going to try that mindset a little bit more right now. If you're feeling a little bit ungrounded or you don't have a clear vision, maybe that's okay. And maybe that's for a reason. And maybe it's because it's something bigger than you can even see or imagine. And so just let them and stay in the day-to-day right now. Just keep going. Okay, let's get into our content ideas, and then we'll get into our voice note of the week. So this is one of the best parts of the podcast, I feel like, is the content ideas. So okay, I'm sharing my screen. We got Busy Blooming HQ open here. Let's go to the content ideas report. So my favorite trend right now that is going on is You know that audio where it's like, so what is the vision for this room? It's the what's your vision for this room trend. I love this because I feel like there's so many fun ways to do this. So there's basically this audio and it's like, so what's your vision for this room? And then it's like to fill it. And then it's usually before and after of a gorgeous apartment or something. There are so many ways you could do this. So you could literally do this for so many before and afters of like, what is your vision for this outfit? And that could be the text on screen. And then it's you in your sweatpants. And then to fill it is like, the text on screen would be like, to feel my most confident. And then it shows you in your outfit. Or let's say you're a web designer or like some sort of designer with clients. You could be like a blank page of a blank website, a blank PowerPoint or something. And then it'd say, what is your vision for this website? Or what is your vision for this client? And then it switches to the to fill it sound and you say, to build their dream website. And that's a gorgeous website. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love that content idea for the week. Another one I really liked in HQ last week was the hook of things that have massively improved my life for a carousel, talking to camera. Obsessed, things that have massively improved my life, talking to camera video, things that have massively improved my life as a first-time runner, as the first year after my 9 to 5, as a content creator, being off my phone has massively improved my life. So anyways, another bonus idea for the week. Okay, let's get into after hours, which now we have an after hours podcast and after hours. We're gonna have to think of a new segment for this, but let's get into our voice note of the week, which if you want to submit a voice note, you can submit to busyblooming.ca, go to the drop down under podcast, and you can submit voice note, question, and text. I love a voice note, I do, but feel free to go in. Anyone can submit a question that you're struggling with, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're going through, and we'll bring it up on the podcast of the office, and we will all be here to help you. So let's take a listen.
Hey Tess, so I'm feeling a bit stuck right now because I've built a pretty strong audience on my account that's strictly educational tips for business owners in a really niche sector. And I'm loving that, but I'm interested in doing some other types of content creation. Like I just bought a house and we're going to do renovations and interior design and all of that. And I feel like that has a lot of potential for brand partnerships, more than my current account and that niche does. So I'm not really sure what to do, whether I should start a new account and start from scratch, not alienate my current audience, or try to pivot my current account and potentially lose out on the clients that have been working really well on that one so far. So thanks so much for sharing your opinion.
Oh my God, that is so exciting that you are going through this. You bought a house. You know what? Some content inspo for you is Grace Beverly, who I know I talk about too much, but Grace Beverly is doing a house renovation tour on her TikTok. Go check that out because she does a really good job at that. But so exciting. Congrats on the new home. I would start a new account. Honestly, I would. I would start a new account to just keep it cohesive. That's what you want to do these days. I think because the vibe I'm getting from you is that you don't want to have an influencer personal brand. You want to have your business account and your home renovation account, which is smart. Keep it that way. Keep it focused. So separate account. I would call it like something cute. Like maybe when you make your home account, maybe you make it your chance to be more of a personal brand where you can share a little bit more about your story, your house, whatever. Or if you want to just keep a home renovation, do that too. Make a separate account. And then for your first post, do a collab post on Instagram. Be like, I'm just want to introduce myself for the first time. My name's this. I started a new account over here about renovating my house. Like just to kind of introduce people and then kind of use it to connect deeper with your audience over in the business account. So I would make your new account your name. So let's say your name is Laura. Then I would start an account with your Laura is your name. And then in the bio, I would say just bought my first home, going through the renovation with you. Oh no, this is what you do. You'd be like, okay, then what you would do is in the bio, you'd be like, by day, working on businesses, tag your business account, and then the next line in your bio is like, by night renovating my house with you or something. You know what I mean? Like to tie it together. And then in your business account in the bio, be like, by night renovating my house, and then tag the other account to kind of link them together. First post, collab post. I would make the collab post feel like an introduction post. Be like, hi, my name's Laura. Just wanted to introduce myself. I just bought my first home. I'm going to be renovating it. Whatever. Pin that. Done. And then I would have your two accounts. So I would treat the home account kind of like a personal brand. If your clients from the business want to connect with you deeper, and then I would kind of link them together in your bios a little bit. But that's what I would do. So exciting. I would just keep them focused. But you guys, let me know what you think down below. Let her know like what your strategy would be. But thank you so much for submitting. This is so exciting. Okay, thank you so much for clocking in with me. This was so much fun. I hope you have a good Friday or whenever you're listening to this. And I'll see you on Monday in HQ. Have an amazing weekend. I have a big weekend planned. I'm just complete unrelated side note. I am married. My husband is Swedish, like born in Sweden, 100% Swedish. If you did his, whatever, he's Swedish. And it is Swedish midsummer. So I actually know there are some Swedes here in Visiting Office. It's Swedish midsummer actually today, I believe. Tomorrow, we're hosting a massive Swedish midsummer party with the flower crowns. You wear white linen. We're going to sing. So that's my weekend plan. So this is your time. Delete your social media. Celebrate Swedish midsummer if you'd like. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Okay, bye.